loath to use the banked cap to raise taxes above that. When the town does not exceed the amount allowable appropriations per year, it can bank that amount to use as a taxing authority in future years. The town has $2.5 million in banked cap. Committeeman Marlon Brown Lee reiterated on Tuesday that while he would vote to establish the bank cap, he would prefer not to use it. But then there's another one. Oh, here it is. Previous post. Pilot. Okay, Maplewood OK's pilot for PSE&G site, but introduces pilot for post office. I wish I really, 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 really understood this because it just doesn't sound right.
What's there to understand?
No, it just doesn't even make sense. So there's got to be something I don't understand.
No, it's very straightforward. You trying to put rice in mincemeat, you know? You trying to put
an old saying I never heard anything.
No, I just made that up.
Okay, go ahead.
You're trying to put rice in mincemeat.
Which means what?
Which means that you're trying to complicate this stuff. Don't complicate it. It's a pilot.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's a pilot. As a developer, you come in. If you want me to build these apartments or condominiums, you got to give me some subsidies. And the subsidies is, I don't want to pay the full amount of taxes.
For 30 years, so I mean, how could somebody okay something like that, Anselm? That doesn't make sense.
Because they think the benefit of the people that's coming in, they're going to spend more money in the stores. There's a lot of benefits.
Yes, we heard that, but you don't believe that's enough.
No, that is.
I don't see how that's enough to add revenue to the town. If the town gets its revenue from taxes, and then you're going to say you don't have to pay a tax. You know, I mean, when something smells funny, you got to go investigate why does it smell this way.
So, we need to get an investigative reporter. So here is Joe Strapp.
Okay.
Township Committee arrogance shows in project tax break approvals.
Okay.
The Township Committee lack of insight or perhaps increased arrogance seems stronger than ever as the bunch of bunglers. I just add that.
Added by Anselm.
Seems stronger than ever as the wave of opposition to the former Maplewood Village Post Office site project grows and grows, and the TC doesn't seem to care. The ignorance of opposition rose against Tuesday night as the TC approved on first reading the tax exemption for the planned retail housing mix being developed by JM Properties. An exemption that will allow JMF to pay just a portion of taxes for 5 years. Straightforward. The exemption was approved 4-1 with TC member in their area voting no. Same thing as usual, you said. You get up there, most of the time they're going to vote 4-1. Rubber stamp. Bunglers. Rubber stamp. They all come with rubber stamps. They all come to the meeting with rubber stamps. And sometimes one person forget their rubber stamp home. So, can I go back and get it? No, you can't. You can't go back and get it. So and here we go. The TC also approved on final passage a similar exemption over 30. No, think about this. Let's think about this. This is critical thinking now. Let's get into some critical thinking. The TC approved on final passage a similar exemption over 30 years for the larger development plan for the former PSE&G site on Boyden Avenue. It was approved 5-0. Now, India Laria voted no for the JMF properties for 5 years.
Post office one, yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And she voted yes
for the 30
for the bigger one for 30 years. That don't make sense. She gave an
excuse in one of these articles. It said she gave an excuse for that. Keep going. Maybe it's got
poor excuse. Whatever is the excuse, you can't vote.
She said because one of them has subsidized or low-income housing, and the other one will not. So why should we? Keep reading because I'm sure that comes.
She actually
read. Keep reading.
Okay.
If not, it's
during public comment, several residents rose and spoke out against the plan, including former Township Committee member David Humer, who criticized the post office site tax exemption. You're going to give them a $325,000 tax break over 5 years, said Humer, later adding, the developer does not need a $325,000 tax breaks and reduces the value of the township. He called it a terrible mistake and incomprehensible. Humor was followed by others who showed concern for the exemption as well as the ugly design of the village site, in one case prompting belittling comments from the township committee and an apparent annoyance at being questioned on this major project. Mayor Victor DeLuca, whose general approach we usually support, appears more interested in getting this project done under his administration than listening to the overwhelming number of residents who seem opposed to it. He even offered his own snide comments, which he does quite often. Very snide guy. Very snide. Comments in reaction to some of the concern, telling humans that the taxes that will be generated, although lower than they should be due to the exemption, do things like support the library, which he told him is expected to be increased in the upcoming budget by $137,000. I know you're a fierce advocate for public funding services, but that funding comes from someplace. The reason for objection range from the ugliness over the modern approach of the design to the size of the 20-unit, 3-story building to the fear of kinds of retail shops it may bring in. The giveaway tax breaks are bad enough, but the speed with which the designs are being approved and supported by the governing body drew further angst from residents who value Maplewood Village as the gem of our township. Add to that the continued complaint that neither project has enough green efforts such as solar and alternative energies, and the TC blind support is offensive. For those who usually support the great work the TC does on most issues of voicing their frustration and irritation in discussion with us in recent week, the anger borders on exasperation that the TC will push for such an objectionable project for no apparent reason. Longtime residents remember the last time DeLuca and Jerry Ryan angered residents with the revelation rammed through in 1999 that caused them their seats. They should be careful that the arrogance in this issue do not do the same, or voters may rebel against them. You notice something? Something missing. Something missing. What's missing?
A voice, an objectionable voice.
To what?
To the whole thing. To
No.
What's missing?
Something missing. No one discussed about the low-income housing.
Oh, that. I'll find that.
No one talks about that.
No, I think she did say that. Let me look. I think because
No
I
one
saw
talks
this.
about that.
It was a post, and I read the post.
You might have talking about the pilot for or the
Let me see. But so if people don't want it, why are they doing this? If people don't want it to be that way, it's kind of weird. Why would they do?
Oh,
it?
here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
After the meeting, Laria told the Village Green she was not convinced the pilot is appropriate for this site. While she fully supports the pilot for PSC&G site, the post office is a different site with different dynamics. She noted its prime property and that developer is not constructing any affordable housing units on this site.
That's the article.
But it's the same thing with the other one. The same thing with the one.
Well, they said 6 out of 200.
It,
Right?
23. They were able to get away with 23 and only build 6. Remember when we were but what's the difference? There's no difference. It's a bunch of bunglers. I say that over and over. You vote against one because there's not enough any affordable housing units on one, and they reduce the affordable housing units on the other one. Remember now, one is only 20 units. The other one is a massive amount, where there was supposed to be 23 low-income housing units. Right? And they decided they were only going to have 6. And they were going to pay off the township committee for the rest. They're going to pay them off. That's what it is. They're getting paid off. Right? But you vote for one and you vote 5 or against. That's, these people are just.
There's something wrong with this, Anselm.
I know it's something wrong with it. Something wrong with it.
What can the people do?
You know what? Maybe I need to do a one-man protest and go in front of City Hall. I've done that in the past. I've done that.
Uh-oh.
I've done that.
Tell whoever that is to call in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone were to go against that, there's a new petition going around regarding the post office building.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what with the set perfectly, but it doesn't mean that it's right. Let's see. Let me read this article really quick. Change.org, Maplewood, stop the demolition of the post office.
Now, did you see this one, the 5% tax increase?
No.
5.6%?
Well, I thought that's connected to the other situation, yes? This
Yeah.
is a discussion.
This is just sickening, man. But you know, think about it. If we weren't doing this program, a lot of these things we wouldn't even know. We would absolutely be clueless. Absolutely be clueless. What can you say? So what else is news here going on around here? Let me see.
I don't know. That's kind of depressing. I'm trying to get back.
So you want to talk about those kids?
Yeah, let me find the article.
You know, Wawa is coming too, right?
Because I read that the Wawa is coming.
And this is like this committee is getting to be like, 24/7. You got 7-Eleven, you got Wawa, What's next?
McDonald's.
We got Burger King.
Yeah,
And they don't want
say that
like
that's
they don't
so
want
old that
they
would
don't want
never-
places like Chipotle. I would like to open a Chipotle in the Maplewood Village. Really, that's great food, man.
That's surprising for you to say something like that.
What do you mean?
It's just it's
Why is that
a
surprising?
chain. I mean, I know you like Subway, but
No,
chain.
Chipotle is a lot of vegetarian stuff. They got pork too, but they don't serve pork anymore because the pork. There was a problem with the farm that raised the pork, so they haven't served pork in a while. Chipotle, you ever had Chipotle?
Yes, I have. Maybe 2-3 times at best.
You don't like it, right?
That's okay. I like the rice with
The brown rice.
as long as it's got cilantro in it. I mean, I just love cilantro. It's the most wonderful thing. So here we have help send Morrow, a Memorial Church youth group to Haiti. I'm going to open up this whole article so I don't have to stop or pause anywhere other than right now. This is also by this Carolyn Maynard. Parisi seems to write almost everything. The Morrow Memorial United Methodist Church youth group is traveling to Misak, Haiti on April 18th during spring break, where they will work with local community group to bring water filters, solar lamps, smoke-free stoves to the townspeople, support artisans as a way to increase employment, and help a maternal health clinic. These efforts are through the organization HAPI, Haitian Artists for Peace International. The group is seeking to raise $8,000 to fund the trip. As of March 19th, they've raised $2,235. The teens are holding a fundraiser and silent auction on Saturday, March 21st, 6 p.m. at Morrow Church in Maplewood. There will be a chili cook-off with chili from the best Maplewood South Orange cooks, including celebrity chef Jesse Jones, children's activities, live music, and great auction items, including Keith Haring and Basquiat artwork, an Ocean Grove vacation home, dinner at a favorite local restaurant, a group cooking lesson, and Manny Petty's basket gifts and more. Scott Stemmerman's band will kick off, and a group of musicians from Starfish and other bands in town are coming together for a special performance, says Reverend Brenda Wheeler Ellers. Also, Chef Jesse is donating a dinner for 4, cooked and served at your home, as well as a cooking class for up to 20 at Morrow Church. Suggested donations is $20. Children are free, and you can pay at the door. If you're unable to attend, visit the GoFundMe site to make a tax-free donation. Read about the group and their tour. We're a small group of teens trying to expand our horizons, partake in service and volunteer work, and get in touch with our global community. But we can't afford to do this without your help. Fueled by hope and effort and your generous funding, our work abroad will be sustainable and benefit the people we meet and serve. Our time in Haiti will not be possible without your support.